Hey, I'm Robert, and welcome to the Dinner by Dad 1-year retrospective. Due to some annoying but hopefully temporary complications, I wasn't able to get into the kitchen to cook this past weekend, so I thought I'd put out a little look back at DbD's first year instead. There's 44 recipes to get through, so I'll jump right in. Number 1, coconut chicken kari kari. I don't remember too much about the making this one, but the recipe's solid, and it marked the first and only time my daughter Nova appeared on camera. Number 2, super tender, slow-roasted pork. Yeah, my titles were all spot on back then. This is another repressed memory, but I will say there will be a follow-up one day, because my roast pork game has improved. Except when it comes to crackling. Crackling remains the bane of my existence. Number 3, arroz caldo. The first recipe and video I'm really proud of. Delicious. Number 4, imposter chocolate mousse. One of my few attempts at dessert. A brave try, but it needs a follow-up. Number 5, chicken Florentine. A solid recipe, and one of my first attempts at putting any sort of visual effect in my videos. Number 6, bachelor for the night pasta, or linguine with scallops and bacon. Memorable because my wife and daughter were out of town the weekend I made it, and it brought in my first 2 subs, so yay. Number 7, umami bomb pork. The world wasn't ready for this one. Number 8, coconut panna cotta. Another attempt at dessert, and another recipe that probably should have been held back. Number 9, baked salmon and pan-seared bok choy. This was my first and so far only cook outside my own kitchen. It did not turn out as planned, and being my 3rd bomb in a row, I got kinda close to giving up the game. Number 10, Cambazola rotini. A tiny bounce back, performance-wise. Enough at least to keep me going. Not to mention, it's a solid, tasty recipe to boot. Number 11, pineapple adobo. It featured my first and only use of a prop, and was my best performer up to that point. Maybe I should use more props. Anyway, it didn't bring in any new subs, which was disappointing, and it's also stuck at the devil's number of 666 views. So if somebody could at least peek at it and put it over the hump, that'd be much appreciated. Number 12, pork udon stir fry with miso sauce. This was a backup recipe when Plan A went out the window. I don't really remember either plan, but a solid recipe nonetheless, and it brought in a fresh group of subs. If you're counting, that's 5 recipes in between. Number 13, blackberry croissant pudding. The first video inspired by someone else's recipe. All I remember is that my wife and daughter both liked this one. Number 14, this is the unicorn. Bistec, or Asian-style beef and onions. It is by far away my best performing episode. Why? I wish I knew, because then I'd repeat the formula. After over 250 days of overheated performance, it's finally just now slowing down. Although it's still outperforming all but my best videos, so thank you, Bistec. Number 15, dumpling soup. A disappointing performer, because this is one of my real-life go-to recipes. Number 16, aqua pazza, or fish in herb and wine broth. Another dish I make quite often, and another underperformer. Don't know why. Number 17, Filipino chicken curry. I love this recipe, but the making of it was traumatic. I caught a bug for my daughter shortly after the shoot, and coughed so hard afterward I didn't have a voice for the voiceover. Still, damn good food. Number 18, budget steak and creamy herb sauce. I'll be honest, steak's not something I'm going to make a lot on this channel. There are just too many great steak chefs out there. I'll leave it to them. Number 19, green olive tapenade. Why did I make this video? Number 20, chicken cacciatore. Not a great performer, but solid food, and I started playing around with the graphics a bit more. Also, the first video where I did most of my prep on my tiny 2 square feet of countertop, rather than a kitchen table. Number 21, squeaky beans and beef. My daughter and I absolutely love this beef stir fry. It would have been nice if it caught on. Number 22, med-inspired chicken. Honestly, not all that inspiring. Number 23, fish curry. I am admittedly an amateur when it comes to spices, but when my next door neighbor, who's South Asian, Asked my wife what I was making because it smelled amazing. Well, that was better than any sub. Number 24, my mom's chicken affrittata. She's actually mad this one's underperformed, although she blames me entirely for replacing raisins with prunes. Number 25, my family's favorite salmon. And that title's not a lie, because this is the salmon dish I cook most often. I'm super stoked that this one's done well. Number 26, firecracker beef. It's weird how I know I like this dish, but I can't remember making the video. Number 27, Nova's made-to-order pasta. If you give my daughter long noodles, cream, and bacon, she'll eat it, so this was a no-brainer. Number 28, chili lime salmon and coconut sauce. This was a good one. Number 29, mushroom hand pie. My first recipe to use pastry, but this appy actually didn't turn out half bad. Number 30, prawn linguine. Seafood and pasta is one of my favorite things to eat, so I adore this dish. I'm really glad that it's my second best all-time performer. Number 31, fake butter chicken. This was a backup recipe I made because I screwed up ordering Indian takeout. Not the real deal, but kind of close enough. Adobong puti, or wet adobo, number 32. This is my current top performer, and I'm over the moon because this is one of my favorite foods from childhood. Number 33, chicken, sage, and crispy shallots. A dish I made because I wanted brown butter and sage. And yes, I admit I scorched the shallots. Number 34, penne in no vodka sauce. Unintentionally cheeky name for a really simple dish. I don't really obsess about putting too much alcohol in my daughter's food, because usually it burns off and it's such small amounts, but it's nice to have options. We're down to the final 10. Number 35 is Filipino-style prawns in coconut sauce. I think this one had the same problem as umami bomb pork. A personal favorite, but it arrived DOA. Number 36, French onion stew. Now, this one is strange, because it took off like a shot. And if you look at its view graph for the first 2 weeks, it was almost vertical. Then in week 3, it flatlined for some unknown reason. I'm hoping it'll get a bump somewhere down the line and get moving again. The YouTube algorithm continues to perplex. Number 37, apple turrone. By this point, it'd been about 6 months since my last dessert, so I came up with the idea of stuffing apple pie mix into spring roll wrappers. It turned out pretty good, but it might still be another 6 months before the next dessert. Number 38, and the first in the series, a creamy mushroom soup. A real winner, and while it's done fairly well, I'm surprised it hasn't done better. Number 39, curried parsnip soup. This was originally going to be broccoli and cheddar, and I'm not really sure why they got switched around. Maybe just to put something a little unusual after the mushroom soup. Number 40, broccoli and cheddar soup. The last of the series, so far, which is on indefinite hold. My wife was happy when I finally got around to making this one. Number 41, tarragon chicken. Currently number 4 all time, and I'm glad and relieved, because I would happily make this dish once a week if I could. It's that good. Number 42, miso maple trout. A dish with a special place in the hearts of my wife and me, and a really good plate of food also. Number 43, beef chili. This dish is a classic for a reason. Hopefully it'll get a bump sometime. Last but not least, number 44, prawn pancakes. This one hasn't really gotten traction, and I kinda understand why. I mean, prawns and pancakes kinda makes for a weird combination. But trust me, when you drizzle some sweet and spicy sauce on top, oh man, that's good eating. And that's it. 44 videos and 354 subs in the last 365 days. For the next 365, the goal is to get better equipment and improve production value. And, of course, interact more with you fine folks. Drop in again next week when, hopefully, I'll have something new and tasty to share. And please remember to hit like and subscribe. Bye for now.